Alright guys, I got another fun project for you today. Today I'm going to be working on a shelf. I wanted to have a small shelf for our daughter's bedroom. We're getting ready for the big reveal day when we show her newly remodeled room to her. And we have this one wall by the door. It's kind of a short wall, has a heater on it, and you can't do much with it, but I wanted to make use of that space by putting a little shelf on that wall. Now we live a really minimalist lifestyle, so we didn't want clutter, but Belle loves to collect little things, and I just wanted her to have a place to display the little things that she thinks are cool. So I wanted to just create a cool little shelf, and I was looking online at all different shelves, trying to see what was out there. So while searching, I found some round shelves that I liked, and they were just a simple like circle of metal with some wooden shelves in it. And I thought that's pretty cool, pretty simple. But they were like way too much money, and I thought to myself, I could make that. So what I did was, I picked up one of these metal feed pans, and this is just a galvanized pan. It's about 16 inches wide. Yeah, a little bit. Close to 16 wide, and maybe 4 inches tall, a little less than that. And what I want to do is make this into a little shelf. So I'm making this up as we go, so hopefully I can get this right, but let's build this together. So first of all, we have a pan, and it would have been a lot easier if this had straight sides, but they are slanted a little bit. So I'm going to be cutting some pieces of wood to fit in here, and they're going to have to be not just cut to length, but angled for this angle, and then also angled for the bevel of the side, the slant of the side. That might be a little tricky, so I'm going to try to make a template first. Another thing I want to do, pull that sticker off. I want to clean the outside of the pan because it's a little bit oily, and what I plan on doing is spray painting the back of it. I think that's going to be really cool. Belle likes color, and while I really love the galvanized metal, this would be awesome if you wanted to make a rustic shelf or like a farmhouse type style shelf, but that's not our style in our house. And while I do like the silver on the inside, I want to add a splash of color to the outside so that when it's hanging on the wall, you get a really cool effect, and it doesn't just look like a pan on the wall. We went to the store and I asked Belle, what color do you like? She didn't know what I was doing, but these are the colors she picked out. I think I'm going to go with the yellow because it's really bright, but the purple is really cool too. So first things first, let's get the template made. Alright, I got my template cut out, and this is basically the dimensions of my shelf. I'm going to have one here, one here. This was a little tricky. That's why I started with cardboard, because I can shave off a little bit at a time until I get it right. It was my second attempt. Alright, I'm in luck. I just found this old piece of wood that we pulled out of the house, and it's actually really nice looking. It's got some nails in it, but I think there's a nice clear piece from here to here that I can use for these two shelves. So let's cut this out and see if we can get our useful wood out of that. I don't want any knots or anything in it. Now we'll pull these nails out. Before I get too carried away, I gotta turn this into some 1/2-inch shelves. I'll try to get both pieces out of this, no guarantees. So we're just gonna rip it 1/2 inch thick. So now we have a nice square-edged 2x4. Alright, we got 2 1/2-inch thick pieces of wood. These came out really good. This would be a great project if you have pallet wood. You could even use 3/4 inch boards, but I just like the thinner look of these shelves. Back over to the chop saw. I think 8 degrees fits perfectly. It looks pretty level. Let me see. Yeah, this is just a lot of testing and fitting. There's probably a scientific way to do all this, but as a guy who works simply, sometimes you just got to trial and error, test fit it, and go from there. And I think I'm liking this fit a lot better. So I think we got it. That's my new template. template. Let's cut one of these, and right now we're doing what, 5, 6, 7 degrees. Now this is looking good, and I'm not worried about my bevels this way yet, because that would confuse me. So let me just get the general shape picked out, and then I'll figure out which is the top shelf, which is the bottom shelf, and then I'll bevel the edges. It's looking good. Again, they're going to move after we bevel them. They're going to go up and down, a little wider. Guys, look at this. Just eyeballing it. Can you see this? That looks good. I think we're done. Can you see it? Can you see the vision? I know, still looks like a pan, but I think it's gonna look cool. Alright, I just cut a scrap piece of wood to fit between here. To space them out so I could even them. Make sure that they were evenly spaced. And then I just marked on the sides where the shelves are going to be. I'm going to be drilling holes through there so I can screw them in. So you can kind of see my lines. Oh, can you? Right there. Alright, our shelves are built. The inside is marked. Let's clean this up and paint it. Alright, we got this thing cleaned up in the sink with soapy water. It should be oil free now. I'm going to spray it. We chose purple. Now the back of this doesn't really matter. That's going to be against the wall. I just want it to look finished. The sides is what really matters. This is looking cool. Again, if you were doing like a rustic farmhouse type thing, this would work perfectly, but don't spray paint it. The galvanized is the look you want. We're going cool, modern, young. What do we do for 10 minutes? Alright you guys, you ready to put this thing together? Because I am. I'm excited to see how this works. Here is the final touch. Remember, this side doesn't matter. That's the back. The sides matter. And look how cool this came out. What a pop of color that is. I'm going to attempt to drill some holes in the metal for my screws where the shelves are going to be. I'm going to be using an even smaller drill bit to pre-drill the wood and just make sure the screws go where they're supposed to go. Let me get my block in here to hold these where they're supposed to be again. So let me get close up so you can see what I'm doing. My block in there. Pre-drilling my holes. This part you got to be careful. You got to drill straight, not straight into the bin, but straight into the wood. And these screws are like super long, way longer than needed. These are a number 6 by 3/4 inch screw. I could have got away with 1/2 inch. Alright, I got 2 more screws to do, and these are going to be a little different because we need a way to hang this on the wall. So you can see screws here, screws here. Yeah, you can see the screws, that doesn't bother me. The screws closest to the back, I'm going to be attaching using these D-ring hangers. These little hangers is like what you use to put on the back of a picture frame to hang them. The screw goes right through the hole and right into the shelf. Just like this, guys. And now we're going to add the hanger, which you could do so many things. You could do cord, you could do leather, you could do a natural fiber rope. That's what I'm doing. Because we have a lot of natural tones in our house. You could do a steel cable, anything you want. I don't know. So I'm going to be hanging it with this really cool natural fiber, and we're just going to tie it. Here's the wall where I want to put my shelf, and here is the finished shelf. Look how cool this looks. I tied on my natural fiber rope, which is shedding all over the place. There's so many things I could have done with this, but this was cheap, and it kind of goes with the wood tones and the natural feel of the room. And I want it to go kind of like that. Well guys, the shelf is done and hung on the wall. To hang it, all I did was take a cabinet screw and paint it with the same purple paint that I painted the sides. I think it looks awesome. It's a simple, small shelf that she can put a few cool things on to display in her room. I put it low enough on the wall for her to reach easily, but not have Maverick be able to reach and grab it and everything else. So that was a really fun project, and I'm glad it came together. It's fun when you have a vision and you can make it into a reality. And in fact, I liked it so much that I went ahead and made another one. And I decided to make one in yellow to see how that would look. It was the same process, but this one went so much faster because now I have templates made, and I had a piece of wood. All I had to do was trace out the boards, make my shelves, and put it together. Really cool. I love handmade stuff or kind of custom stuff. The spray paint came out so good. I like how it looks. It was flaking off a little bit when I was putting it on the wall, so I probably should have primed, but it gives a really nice splash of color. But I still like the inside silver. Simple, inexpensive shelf made from a feed pan, believe it or not. And the depth of the feed pan was perfect for these 2x4s to sit in. So that's really cool, really happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this build with me as I build the accessories for Belle's room. We can't wait to reveal the final unveiling. She hasn't seen anything yet, and she's gonna love it, I think. But that's all I have for now, so until next time, take care.